Welcome to Here Comes the Boom, a KSR and KSR Plus Kentucky basketball recruiting show. We're talking all things Kentucky basketball recruiting, especially with Peach Jam and the Adidas 3SSB Championship coming up. It's only right we bring on On3 and Rivals national basketball reporter Joe Tipton. It's kind of weird saying that now. Joe, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment, but yeah, happy to be here, Jacob.
Well, I want to start by talking about the big name, Jason Crowe Jr., who's got his decision coming up later this month. And I want to let you talk about where you think things stand right now, because I know you put out an intel piece earlier this week, and Kentucky's a name that's been mentioned with him a lot. So what can you tell me about his recruitment?
Yeah, heading down the final stretch of this recruitment, I think I assumed, just like everybody else, that Jason Crowe Jr. was probably going to end up at Kentucky. If you follow recruiting closely, then you know his dad, Jason Crowe Sr., is very close friends with Kentucky assistant Jason Hart. They go back, I think, to their high school days at Inglewood High School. And then I think, Jacob, even you reported that Jason Crowe Jr. was set to play for G League Ignite, guess who the head coach was? Jason Hart. So there was already that connection there. He was already kind of set to play for him before that league dissolved. So just kind of the writing on the wall was, hey, it's Kentucky. He'll probably end up there. But I made some phone calls after he set his commitment date for July 18th. And I was actually quite surprised when I kind of dug a little bit and was able to kind of break the whole thing open. And now the front runner is actually Mizzou. Kentucky is really not even in the picture. It's Mizzou is kind of the leader in the clubhouse, and then USC and Texas are kind of the other two schools to watch. So I don't really know what happened or what transpired specifically with Kentucky in regards to Crowe, but Missouri is definitely the team to watch as we kind of head down the final stretch here.
So before we get into talking about some of these upcoming summer championships, I want to ask about if Crowe commits to Missouri or another school, where do you think Kentucky can go next? It seems like they've got a ton of guards that they've already offered. So what kind of direction do you think they can go in?
Yeah, I think this is kind of the domino effect, right? They cast a wide net, as we always kind of tend to talk about. But I think you kind of ramp things up with a guy like Duron Rippey. Obviously, they're on Taylon Kinney, who I kind of view as a Louisville lean, to be frank with you, not to depress Kentucky fans too much today here. But I think you just ramp things up with Duron Rippey, see who else. Obviously, you're still involved with a guy like Jordan Smith Jr., Caleb Holt, guys like that. They're on a lot of these 5-star guards. But once these players start trending elsewhere, you kind of readjust and kind of realign who you want to go after.
And the timing is right to realign with these championships coming up. So, Joe, what are some of the things that you're looking for, especially from a Kentucky perspective, in the upcoming 3SSB championships and at the Nike EYBL Peach Jam?
Yeah, I think the main thing I'll watch is, where Pope is at. Obviously, I'm sure he'll bounce around between the circuits, right? But which players is he watching specifically? Because that's always a pretty telltale sign of who he really wants or who he's, evaluating the most to give it the biggest run at. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then just which of these high school guys, perform well and, continue to set these visits. And some of these guys that we saw with Jason Crowe Jr. are already ready to make a choice. But a lot of these other guys, I touched on very briefly, Jordan Smith Jr., probably not going to commit for quite a while here. So just to see which players continue to set up visits and, align decisions coming out of, some of these summer finals.
Well, Joe, we'll be following all your work coming up here. Be sure to go to KSR. Zach Gagan will be on the ground at the Adidas 3SSB Championships, and then myself and Jack Pilgrim will be in Augusta for Peach Jam next weekend. So be sure to subscribe to KSR Plus. Check out all that content. And Joe, thank you again for joining me.
Absolutely, Jacob. Anytime.